Alright, we're out here. It's pretty early. Camera is gonna be shaky. It's just minutes after 4 a.m. and it's 40 degrees out, so we'll see how she does with a coal startup. I think I'm not sure how old the batteries are on this thing, but that's pretty smart. A reflective, just put a reflective vest on the trunk of the car. Just lock it on there. Reflective jacket. Parked in this overpark parking spot, and I thought about moving it after the fact because that's like a hill right there. But I was like, well, if it rolls away, that means the brakes aren't worthy of traversing these terrain that I'm going to encounter. So we'll get it unlocked here. Get it unlocked. The keys are really finicky, so I gotta figure that out. I'm not sure if you can see. You can't, but this thing, I end up zip tying it in the first video, and it hasn't been flopping around, so that's great. But let's see. Whew. See if I can get this thing opened up. Just gotta wiggle the keys. There we go. I'm trying to find that little touch. We'll just crank it right up. Coal startup. There we go. All right, I guess I should just, whatever. Keys coming in the ignition. Can't. What the heck? This thing is all kind of. Am I using the right key? Nope. It's backwards. So. And let the guy from Diesel Creek say all the time, contact. Oh. Let's get some lights in here. If I can find the displays, these are the headlights, the dash lights, and then the dome lights. Wow, the battery's at, it was at 13.3. So, cranking a diesel. Here's my makeshift pull down. Slide the door. Voila. Apologize for the shakiness of the video. I don't have a tripod. But that stays right there. We'll come back in here for a second. Go outside, actually. Like I said, the heat works. But there's no AC. So we'll turn this to there. Crank it to heat. We'll crank the blower up, and we'll open these vents. Whenever you open these just like this, they tend to fall down, close. So I just rotate them like this, so they're less likely to go back that way. I'm not usually an energy drink person, but yesterday I drove from Kearney, Nebraska, and my plan was to stop in Salt Lake City. Well, at some point prior to Salt Lake City, about 2 hours out, I felt really tired, so I pulled off on the most horrible exit. Had to drive like 3 miles in town. Got a Red Bull, some gas, and yeah, that did it for me. I got to Salt Lake City. felt fine. I was like, well, I'm gonna try to press through a little bit. So right now, Elko, Nevada. I figure my next stop will be just short of Reno, because that's about 4 hours from here, four and change from here. So we'll see if we can get to Reno, and then from Reno home. Total of like just under 7 hours home, 450 miles remaining on the trip. So that's our current mileage. So we'll hit 41 and change, about 41,500, call it, rounded up, final mileage, and we started with 39.2, I believe. But yesterday I drove, my plan was to drive at least 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours. I ended up driving just over 14 hours and 1,000 miles. But I got here, 6 hours remaining from home, and I was like, well, I'm gonna stop. No need to try to push it, because I know I didn't want to depend on Red Bull, because really you're not fooling anyone but yourself thinking you're awake. Plus it's at night. I'm gonna get this thing zip tied, since I brought the zip tie, so I'll do that off camera, the brakes. But we'll do a walk around inspection and grab my suitcase so I don't forget it. While I'm here, I had to buy some sunshades because, man, I'm getting baked over here. And these didn't want to stick because there's this whatever sticker right here. They didn't want to stick, but I got them to work. I even cleaned the metal right here, as you can see, to stick them right there. So I ended up getting 2 of them. I'm saving my gas receipts to tally up how much this thing took for gas. I was going down the highway yesterday. I turned my strobes on when there wasn't any cars around, and it was pretty it's cool seeing that reflection off the side. We'll let this thing warm up. Obviously a cold start. Pulled in yesterday, got a full tank of gas at the Sinclair gas station. Actually, it's like right there. Grab my suitcase here. Yeah. We'll grab that suitcase. And we'll go check lights. And we'll just check the general condition. Make sure all the things are still around and nothing is leaking, and looks like I might have a leak up there somewhere, but nothing that's active. Everything is still around. Lights are good. A lot of bugs. Just eating all the moss and stuff. It's gonna be fun washing this thing. I was looking at the brakes yesterday, and I really don't have much brake pad remaining. Ball joints and stuff. I mean, you can see there's some superficial rust, but we're just checking general drivability right now. Tires are still good. A lot of thread on them. I was looking at this lift gate, and the person that installed it, or maybe it's just from I see the problem. Let's see. Yeah, so if you look at it, it looks like lower on this side, and I realized what the problem is right away. This piece right here, I don't know if you can see it, basically, damn, this light, this piece right here, it's this latch mechanism, it doesn't go all the way down. It hasn't like ate into this aluminum piece, versus on the next side it has worn into it a lot. So this is why This is why the thing is kind of lopsided, because it has gone down into this aluminum piece a lot more for some reason. So that's why this thing is lopsided. I thought it was installed incorrectly, which didn't make sense, but it's just that for some reason the aluminum on this side has worn out on this bracket, so it has caused it to go off. Well, that's one thing I've noted. Not much of a fix for that. Yeah, except replacing the piece, and it's completely welded onto the frame. Yeah, it's a full piece. It's not bolted on or anything. Yeah. Anyway, we're just checking general conditions. These tires are different. The inner one is different from the outer one. Yeah. Outside looks good. So here's what I was talking about. Anyway, let's get into I'm gonna leave the windows closed because it's gonna be cold through the mountains. Coming back here, I can put my flashlight away actually. Trying to throw this thing in my bag. Shirt's off. Always have a flashlight on hand. Just make sure my straps are tight. It's not gonna come loose. This bad boy is not going anywhere. All the straps are tight right there. I had repositioned this wheel bar thing, and see, it's not going anywhere. So I got a strap right there, one in the back right there, and one from right here to over there. Check all the straps. Yeah, they're still tight. Yep, I'm good to go. Yep. This thing is secure. I'll show you real quick. This thing, like I said, is a tip hydraulic thing. So you just pull this handle, and then this thing it turns on, and we'll do the dump feature right here. Dump, return, we'll just dump. We won't dump too much to drop that stuff out. But like I said, it dumps, and there's a hydraulic. Whoa. There's the hydraulic cylinder in there. It dumps all the way over. This thing will contact the floor. I just don't want to dump out the thing. And then we'll just hit the return button. She'll come all the way down, smooth as butter. I think this stuff, they sold it as a floor model, never been used, still brand new. And yeah, and then we'll just turn it off. I guess by design, you pull on this to turn it on, and if you were supposed to, like, you know, bat this stuff into your leg, it would just bump it off. Yep, so that's the, she's not going anywhere. Yep, everything is like secure back here. We'll kill the lights, make it dark back there, and we'll, I was driving yesterday and I had this open, and I realized I was losing a lot of heat to the back. This is what I forgot to mention yesterday. It's I want to say it's a Allison transmission. There's some junk over here I gotta clean up. Doors locked, windows are locked. Just doing my my pre-prep departure. Make sure my charging cable is plugged in here. You definitely need some kind of entertainment for these long drives, and right now music has been my my thing. It's too loud to listen. Most like the Apple AirBuds, they're not really well. I don't have the noise canceling one, and I got a basic one, and it's just too loud to listen to anything that doesn't really have good volume or audio. So there's that. I'll put my phone on the rack. I got the lights on, heat on. We'll turn the dome light off here shortly. Windows are locked. It's nice having a trash can right there. I emptied it once already from all the trash I threw in there, and that was previously left in there. Got a water, a Red Bull, and the next stop will be for gas and food. I had a scare where when I had that def light come on, or that height, this light right here. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, when I had that light come on, it distracted me. I was at half a tank of gas, and before I know it, I was like quarter tank remaining, or whatever that is. Before you know it, it was teeter-totting on E, and then I got the light come on, the fuel low light, and luckily I saw a Love. I was driving and I was like starting to freak out, looking up how close the next gas station was. It said for 10 miles or something, and then out of nowhere a Love sign came up, and a Love gas station out of nowhere. But anyway, what else is there? Anyway, I am about to hit the road. We'll be making it home today if all goes well. The more I drive this truck, the more I realize that I am taking a big risk. For one, driving this truck without a pre-purchase inspection and or doing my due diligence. Really, I'm pressed for time to get home, but I'm making good time now. In fact, I'm getting home by noon on Sunday. But also a diesel, unfamiliar, just the cost of any repairs that are overdue. So I try to get them to provide me the service history, and the guy came back and I was like, it's been like deleted from the system or something. I call bullshit on that. So I guess it was the next service. You can't really read all that, but next service is due at 149,000 miles. So it looks like they do them every 10,000 miles. Because I got that at 139. Okay, yeah, it makes sense, because the oil change was 139, 149. And then they have different A, B, C class of inspections. Looks like February was the latest one. But yeah, I call bullshit on that. They do have the service history on these things. I'm still gonna try to see if I can get it. I'm gonna do my own research and reach out to Ryder independently, because this was titled to them. They were the sole owner of this since 2009. So I do know they have a service history on it, and maybe that's why I'm kind of like lenient on driving a vehicle like this without a pre-purchase inspection and or doing my due diligence, because they would have serviced it. A rental vehicle, yeah, it's going to get beaten up by customers, but the company is usually going to service their vehicle at their regular schedule intervals because they have a good tracking system. But knock on wood, there's no wood in here, but knock on wood, actually there's some wood in here. The seat that's getting torn apart. Knock on wood. It's all good, and it's only minor maintenance, if anything. I was going up the hill yesterday, and man, a FedEx truck on the flats downhill, he got me. But going uphill, he would pass me and be like, I don't know, 4 miles, 5 miles ahead of me or something. And I would catch back up to them going up these hills, and I would just leave him in the dust. And before I know it, he would be behind me again downhill. That was funny. Yeah. So we're gonna see what today holds. I don't need this thing like flying out. We'll see what today holds. We're gonna get going. Yeah, as I'm driving this thing, I'm thinking about how I want to approach it, what I want to use it for, how I want to set it up. Definitely, first things first is cleaning this thing. I need to figure out how to like put a tape over that horn, the reverse horn. So I don't want to wake up this town, but you'll hear everyone in this hotel. Listen real quick. Yeah, I need to muffle that because it's not going to really work out great for my little cul-de-sac. So I need to figure out where that speaker is or whatever and kind of put a duct tape over it just to muffle it. I think it's a good safety device, so it's not my intent to disable it. Yeah, I could go ahead talking forever, but I also got a 7 hour drive ahead of me. Anyway, like me always say, like on editing.